So not too long ago, Nintendo made the announcement on how they're not going to be doing a traditional press conference at this year's E3. A lot of people are really looking forward to E3 this year, mainly because Microsoft will be showing off their new console. They're going to be showing it off later on this month, but also in E3 they're going to be really showing it off. And then of course you've got the PlayStation 4. Sony will be showing off the PlayStation 4 at this year's E3. And Nintendo came out and said, we're not going to be doing a traditional press conference. We're going to actually be doing some smaller events that are specifically for the targeted audiences. Now, I want to talk about this with you guys. I know this is kind of an old story, but I've had the chance to think about this. For the most part, the response has been negative by a lot of gamers. A lot of people are saying Nintendo's doomed, Nintendo Wii U's not selling very well, this is a poor mistake on Nintendo's part. Let me just talk to you guys about my thoughts on this, okay? Nintendo has always been the leader in innovation. Okay, oftentimes, no, I don't really talk about Nintendo. I'm usually talking about the Sony PlayStation and the Xbox 360. I do have a Wii. I usually don't talk about Nintendo, but getting and playing an NES is the reason why I am here today. And I want to talk about Nintendo's choice on not doing a press conference and instead doing smaller conferences. A lot of people think that's a bad idea. They should be doing a press conference, some people might be saying and thinking. Okay, the past few years, many of the conferences by Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, the traditional conferences, have been poor, okay? Let me bring something to your guys' attention. Some of you guys did not get the chance to watch this. I'll include a link in the video description. Nintendo does these Nintendo Direct presentations, and on, I think it was the 23rd of last January, they did a video, a Nintendo Direct presentation. It was a little over 30 minutes. I think it was around 35, 36 minutes long. That single Nintendo Direct meeting presentation of games, the way they presented it, that thing was better, in my opinion, than all of the conferences combined of last year's E3. And what I mean by that is all of the Nintendo Traditional Conference, the Microsoft Traditional Conference, and the Sony Traditional Conference. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they had conferences last year in 2013. For the most part, they were a bust. Ubisoft did an amazing job with their conference, but Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, they did a terrible job, okay, in my opinion. That single Nintendo Direct presentation, that will include a link in the video description, in my opinion, that was better than all the conferences last June. So what Nintendo is going to be doing is they're going to be having several different specific presentations for the target audience, okay? And you know, my opinion, I think Nintendo is going to be amazing. A lot of people say Nintendo is doomed. This E3 2013, I'm predicting that they're going to hit it out of the park by specifically targeting different target audiences. They're going to do amazing. You know, I watched the Microsoft conference and the Sony conference, and they take all this time showing like Book of Spells or some Kinect stuff or some casual stuff. Some casual stuff is cool, but you know, if you try to please everyone, oftentimes you're going to please no one. I think Nintendo has a really smart idea. Number one, the most important thing with this type of industry is to get press, to get attention, whether it be good or bad. Oftentimes bad attention is much better than no attention, okay? People are claiming, oh, they shouldn't have done this, they're going to do horrible. All eyes are going to be on Nintendo. Of course, people are going to be wanting to check out the next Xbox and the PlayStation 4, but people are going to be really curious. Now, of course, everything is not going to be shown live. Some of their presentation or presentations is going to be behind closed doors for vendors and people in the industry. But regardless, this E3 2013, we're going to find out exactly what Nintendo has up their sleeves, okay? And I'm pretty optimistic. I'm very optimistic that they are going to hit multiple home runs out of the park. This is just my feeling on Nintendo. Again, Nintendo is the leader in innovation, and I think they're going to do an amazing job this year at E3. Is there going to be a traditional conference from them? No, but that does not mean that they're not going to do an amazing job and have an amazing offering for gamers like me, and I'm really looking forward to it. Guys, definitely let me know your thoughts on Nintendo and on your thoughts of them not having a traditional conference. You know, usually conferences have been around an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm looking forward to E3 regardless. It's coming next month, which is crazy. Leave your comments below. What are you looking forward to for Nintendo, and what are you hoping that they'll announce and show off to us gamers? As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.